Okay. How is everyone doing tonight? My name is Kurt. I'm a dad who draws and I want to welcome you to our Wednesday night live. We come together every Wednesday night to draw a portrait. And if you'd like to participate in selecting that portrait in our Facebook group on Wednesday morning, I will post 3 different pictures. And then as a group, we vote on which one we want to draw. So tonight we've got this great salty fisherman here we're going to give a stab at. He has a ton of character, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So without further ado, let's get into it. But do please like and subscribe and comment on the video. I do appreciate it. All right, so usually let's go ahead and jump right into this. I think tonight we are going to take a slightly different approach, and we're going to draw this character 3 times. The first 2 times we're going to try and be a little bit more lighthearted about it, and then in the 3rd time we'll try and get it more realistic, okay, a little more stylized. So whenever we draw a stylized portrait, we want to approach it the same way, but what I want you to do in these first 2 drawings, I want you to relax and not take yourself too seriously and just try and enjoy the drawing process. I'm going to try and simplify this so that you can really not get too anxious, because we all know drawing portraits is hard, and we have a high bar of expectation once we get started. So let's start with this gentleman here, and the first thing I want you to do, let me get this going here, there it is. Let's start with the angle of his face, and let me show you what I'm thinking here on another layer. So the first line we're going to draw, oops, wrong color. We're going to draw a line this way, and we're going to draw a line that way. Okay, so let's start that off down here. Get that angle, yeah, and then the back side there, just like this. Okay. Then across the top, let's just come around like this. Okay. And if I draw too fast, please, somebody just ask me to slow down, and I'll ease off the gas pedal here, because we've got plenty of time to do this, and it should come together quite nicely. Okay, look at the back here. This is right about where I'm going to start here, and all I'm going to do now is just make this nice sweep coming down just like that. Try and stay nice and loose. One of the things we do look for when we are drawing, that is always helpful drawing a face, is trying to determine where the temples are. So let me show you that. So if I look at this gentleman's head, like, he's got a temple right about there, okay? So let's very lightly, let's just put a line down here, and we're going to go at that angle, right about there, okay? Is that the jawline? Sort of. It sort of is, Pamela. At this point, I'm really looking for shape, because we're going to draw this face in the shape. When we actually do the next drawing, the 3rd one, we're going to break this down in construction, so you'll see all those parts. But right now we're just trying to keep this as loose and enjoyable as we can, okay? So let's come back here with a straight line slightly. That's a good question, by the way. All right, let's come in here now with his ear, and we're just going to make a nice big old C, backwards C. All right, let's come out here and don't, when you draw his nose, don't try and do it accurately, just make it fun. Just make it fun. Lots of curves we're using. All right, now we want to use some different lines of measurement. So let me show you what I mean by that. Look at the corner, oops, wrong color. Look at the corner of the wings of his nose are right there, and if we make a straight line, that's going to go right through his eye, okay? So we want to be aware of that when we come up here just a little bit. And all I want you to do is just do a straight line and a curve. There's the inside part of his eye right there. Now his next eye, let's make sure we go low on that, just like that, nice and low. All right, let's get this the lower eyelid, and he's got that lovely little bag underneath his eye, which looks awesome. And he's got some his eyebrow there. Yeah, sometimes I like just to take a shape and then put the features in the shape. I'll show you after this. We're going to do it again, and I'll show you what I mean by that. All right, straight up. Look at that straight line right there. All right, let's get this mouth in here. Slight curve. Curve for this mustache here. Then when you get his beard, drop that line a little bit higher, just like this, and don't be afraid to really get that sticking out like that. You see that? Of course, this one's got a nice sweep. I'm just going to use surface lines here to indicate the direction of that beard. All right, let's get this pipe in place here. It's a slight straight. Nice curve underneath here. I like to put the bowl in first and then connect it to the head. Underneath this pipe, you can see it's almost a straight line. And then the top is going to taper in just a bit. All right, let's get this sideburn in here, and I'm just going to give some quick little lines there to indicate the sideburn. And let's talk about this ear here. You know, when you draw an ear, there's a couple parts of an ear that you should try and memorize. First is we use the letter C, and it's usually a backwards C. Then you always want to look for the Y of the ear, and I'll show you where that is. And then you're going to have another C, but it's going to be much smaller. So let me show you where all those pieces are, okay? So we get the outer shape of our ear, and the first is the first C. It's going to come down like this. Now, his ear, you can't see the Y of the ear very good, but if I come in close, you could see it in my own ear. You see the Y? And I'll show it to you where it will be. Comes down like this. Just like that. The letter Y, you see? And then it comes around like this. All right, he's got some back hair here. We're just going to quickly indicate that. And whenever, let's move on to draw his hat here. And whenever I draw a hat, I ignore the brim and just get the part that goes right around the head. So let's go ahead and do that here. So we're just going to come up here like this. It's going to have a slight curve to it. Slight curve, light straight line back here, and then we're going to taper down just like that. Okay. All right, let's look at to see where this brim is coming. All right, looks like the brim is starting right about there. And if I follow it with my eye, it's going to end right about there. You see that? And I could even put another mark trying to estimate how far it's going to come off. So let me show you this on another layer. So we've got a mark right there. Oops, wrong color. Got a mark right there, and a mark right there. And this works for any hat. So I always get the part that goes right around the band of the head, and then I visually map out to see where that brim is. Then it's just a matter of playing connect the dots. Okay, we're going to use the same treatment to get the large part of his hat. So that's going to come in back here, right? And then the top part's going to come right there. And we can just kind of guess. All right, it's going to come out. It's going to come down in this angle. All right, I think I can do this now. And I'm turning my iPad. Yeah, mine's probably a little too big, but that's okay. To get a nice smooth line, I'm using my elbow to draw with. And I'm just going to drop an overall tone into that hat. Okay, back and neck. And we can add some wrinkles, these crow's feet. Forehead. And a little shading. So let's follow that shadow that his hat is casting. Here's some shadows over here. And then shadows in here. And a shadow underneath there. Okay, there's a real quick study of this guy's head in a more of a cartoony way, or just a more stylized way. Oh, here, let's do the one more thing. I just noticed this. Yeah, let's get that nice edge to the barrel of his mouth coming down. You know, one of the great, this is sometimes when you draw a portrait, if you draw it multiple times, it gets you familiar with what it looks like. So to spend, we spent probably a little bit longer than I would have liked to, but to spend 15 minutes on a quick sketch will help you to get a feel of it before you go into a little bit longer pose. Okay, let's remove that. And let's come up with a new layer. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I want you to, I'll tell you what, we're going to skip our second portrait and just spend more time of getting the construction. So let's go ahead and walk through the steps that I typically take that will give you a real help in understanding the 3D, the 2D, and the face placement idea. All right, so let's go ahead and start with a sphere or round. And the first step when I do a drawing of a portrait is I look for the 2D axis. The 2D axis is the head leaning to the right or is it leaning to the left? Okay. So in our fisherman's example here, he's straight up, okay? So then the first thing is we look at a 2D aspect, all right? Once we determine whether it's left or right, then we determine is the head coming forward or is it going back, okay? And in this case, once again, he's pretty squared up. He's squared up with his shoulders. He's looking straight out in front of him. So his 3D axis is straight up. There's nothing to draw quite yet. The one thing though that makes this pose interesting is we aren't at eye level. We actually are below his eye level, so we are looking up at him. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw a sphere, like an equator, and we're going to do it like this here. Okay, because we're looking up at him. Okay, at this point, let's find that. Let's find the temple. Okay, we looked at it earlier, and it's right about there. Okay. So I'm going to go right about there on mine. And the head, if you look straight at the head, the head is flat on the sides, but if you go in a profile, then you get the head that's really round. So let's work that flat side in here, and we're gonna do that by a sphere, or we're gonna slice off the side of the head. And if you noticed that I have moved this up a little bit because we are looking up at the gentleman. And once this line hits it, now it's going to be flat. Hey, Russell. Good to see you, buddy. We just started. We did another earlier portrait, but I think you can catch up pretty quick. All right. After we've established this, the angle, next thing we want to determine is the placement of the face. So in order to determine the placement of the face, we find the temple, and then you want to find the center. The center is right in the center of the head here. Okay, right in the center of the nose. So in this case, if I did, watch this, if I went exactly center here, this would be wrong because we're looking at it at a 3/4 view. So I want to shift that slightly to the left. Now we could drop a straight line, and this is going to be the center of his face. I have another saying that is construction gives way to likeness. So if you don't ever try and draw a person's likeness, instead really concentrate on the construction of their face, and in doing so their likeness will just snap right into place. Okay, following that same angle, we're going to get the side of the head just like that. You had asked Pam a little bit earlier if we had drawn the jaw, so I want to show you where that is right here. So when we draw a jaw, we're going to use this line, the center line right here on the side of the face, and we're going to drop it down just a little bit to get right here. You see that? See where I'm pointing on my own jaw? I can feel it. Drops straight down from the ear, and now we bring it around. So let's do that. Here's the jawline. And because this is such an extreme 3/4 view, we could drop this down. It's gonna just kind of curve around and be straight, just like that. Okay, let's work on, once you have that, let's go ahead and work on the visor of the face. What is the visor? The visor is right here, right here above the eyes, and it comes straight down. So let me show you at an angle. So let me show you where that's at. It's going to be at an angle there, and it's going to be an angle right there. And you could just very lightly connect that up, just like that. Let's get the bottom of that jaw, or the bottom of this plane right here that goes from the cheeks right down here to the bottom of the nose. And it's going to be just like this. So the center line now, I'm going to erase this slightly. The center line is going to come like this and follow that form, you see? Okay, now we're ready to, let's go ahead and get this. The next part is the barrel of the mouth. The barrel of the mouth goes right behind the nose, comes right down here, right behind the chin. So let me show you where that's going to be. That's going to be that's going to come out like this. Barrel of the mouth. Now we don't see this on our picture here because he has a beard, but nonetheless, I do wanted to show it to you because a lot of times you won't be drawing people with beards. All right, let's get this nose in place now. Just going to follow the outline of the nose. Let's get this nostril in place. And get that wing of his nose. Let's see now. Let's take a close look at it. Maybe something like this. And wow, I've just realized something. The shape of my nose isn't quite. His nose is concave, and I've done it just the opposite. So I'm actually gonna go in here and erase mine slightly and get this to be more in style. There, that's much better. Let's get the side of his nose here. Now for his eyes, let's go ahead and draw a sphere here. And this sphere is going to be a little bit on the higher side because we're looking up at it. Draw it lightly. I probably just drew mine too dark. I'll lighten it up just a little bit. Okay, let's get this upper eyelid in here. And if you notice in the upper eyelid, I'm going to do mine in 2 strokes. So let me show you what I mean by that. So this first one is going to be straight up like this. And then the next one is going to be a little bit longer. You see that? That's kind of what I'm going to do here. So let's bring that up just a little bit there. And then this is going to be long here. And then we have the lower eyelid that is really tucked up in there. You see that? And we could add tone in that because his eyes are really nicely set back, or he's been fishing his whole life, so he's probably squints his eyes all the time, huh? Let's get that lower eyelid there, and there's almost a double one. Another wrinkle right there. about we get this eyebrow in now? So we're just going to kind of follow the shape of this eye. And then it looks like this literally turns into his eyebrow. Okay, on the left side here, he's got this, I could see his eyebrow is quite large. And then this cheek is following the following that barrel of the mouth. All right, let's get this mouth in and look carefully now. Look carefully, because it comes around. Oops, that's probably too high. It comes around and slightly curls up. I'm going to use surface lines to indicate the mustache there. And then I'm going to outline where my beard is coming. And as Pamela, as you can see, that beard comes right back to that jawline. And that's the shape of our beard. I may have made mine a little long, but that's okay. I like this character trait. So I'm just going to go in here now and erase some of these lines here. Yeah, I definitely made mine a little bit on the larger side. Okay, I'm going to use some straight lines here and just some surface lines here. All right. same thing like before. Let's go ahead and draw this pipe in. Straight on the bottom. A little curve on top. Whenever you could combine a straight and a curve, it always can it always adds a lot of interest to any drawing. Let's just add that little tone into there. Okay, let's work on this ear now. So let me show you something on this ear. Using a horizontal line, I could see, oh look, the bottom of that ear lines up with that nostril, and that top of the ear goes way high above the eye. Now typically, let me show you my own face here. Typically the top of an ear will line up right with the eye or brow line, and the bottom of the ear will line up with the bottom of the nose, okay? So let's go ahead and get that in place here. I'm looking at the overall shape of his ear. Alright, let's kind of get that Y in place. It's good practice to I can remember the first time when I learned about the Y of the ear, I started looking at them all over the place, wherever I went. I was like, oh my goodness, there it is, right in front of my face, and I never noticed it before. All right, there's that straight there, and that's kind of, I'm adjusting my drawing slightly here. Let's start working on this hat here, okay? So, and I think that was too low. I need to go higher. So let me make a measurement here. What I'm looking for now, this is what I'm looking for. I'm kind of thinking, okay, if I know where that is, so wow. That really is what I'm looking for there, okay? So there's my, okay, that looks better. And I'm really coming down like this. All right, much better. Straight there. right, let's look at the measurement here. Let's get this brim in here. So let's see, it's going to start right about there, and it's going to end right about there, and I'm going to come about right about there. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. Now, one other thing before I draw this brim, I do want to show you this up here. Look, if I draw a straight line here, look how straight. You see that there? It's very straight right there. So that's a good, always looking for relationships. What things are kind of relatively straight and what things are round. So that's going to be a really nice guide as I draw this brim starting here. So let's see how we do here. So I'm going to come out. Okay, that looks pretty good. Probably a little bit too long, but I'm going to roll with that. I like that. Another rule of measurement that you can use is negative space. So look at this negative space there. Look at that negative shape. You see that? And what I mean by that is this. That's the shape that I'm looking at. Okay. So when I draw that now, and you could already see that my brim is way out of hand here. I can't let myself get away with that. All right, that would be a little bit better. We'll go with that. All right. And then the back side of this hat, let's see, where's it coming down? It comes way down here. Maybe like that. And I don't have it in the picture, so I'm just going to have to guess. And I think we're going to do that. Wow, 53 minutes. Where'd the time go? Straight line for the back of his head. I'm going to add a quick tone to my hat here. Plus, I definitely want to get some of this shading in here. This is going to be interesting. Okay. And his jaw's coming down here. I'm just gonna okay. All right, let's, in our last closing minutes here, let's try and get his outfit that he's wearing. Okay, so let's start down here in his neck, and this is going to be like a straight line coming in here. And back to this idea of negative shape. Look at this. Look at this great shape right there. You see that? That's a good shape to shoot for. Okay, so we're going to come back here. And we're going to come up here. Now look at this. Look at this line here. This is also a good one. Look, this is almost a straight line coming straight down there. You see that? I'm always looking for anything that's straight. That's going to help me to get things lined up nicely. Oops. What did I just do? All right, we'll just do it like that. All right. All right, so we've got that coming in, and then this, look at this little corner down here, which is right there. Look at this. This is almost a straight line all the way up. Let's use that to our advantage as well. So let's see, here is the red part right there. Next going to come in here, and this is going to have a bit of a curve there, and it's going to go straight into this. And looks like this, like a turtleneck or something maybe. I don't know. I may not see it exactly, but that's okay. This curves around the back of his neck. Straight off here. Okay, so I think that is all of his clothing there that he's wearing. Now I could come in our closing minutes here, and look, he's got some nice texture. So I'm just going to use some lines to capture that. And now his shirt down here has a little bit of a billowing to it, like this. So I'm going to make these wide and follow that. And last thing I think I'm going to do here is just add the shadow that's happening underneath his chin, because the way that you make white or colors brighter is to darken everything around it. And the shadow has a very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's has an interesting shape to it. I'm just putting some finishing touches on mine here. Oops, forgot a sideburn. And I think that's going to do it for tonight. So I just want to, oh, great. Tony said, thanks, Kurt. All right, great, Tony. No problem. Thanks for watching, everyone. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. Join us on our Facebook group. There's a link down in the description. Please do give a thumbs up and comment and post your work in the group. Can't wait to see it. Carolyn, you are so welcome. Pamela, Leah, Russell, everyone who joined in, I so much appreciate the company. It's you guys make it a lot of fun. So we will see you guys tomorrow, okay? Have a great evening wherever you are, whether you're in Toronto or where else. Illinois, all over the place, even across the pond. Russell, you must be dead. It must be so late there in England. Right. See y'all later. Thanks for watching. My name is Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. Bye, everyone.